Hey everybody, what's going on? NGS back again for another video. Now last time I talked a lot about things related to Namco Bandai, the panels that they're going to be holding in dedication for Naruto Storm 3 and Tales of Xillia, as well as some Square Enix stuff, Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix, and Final Fantasy X HD. Yes, that is still relevant, while I would have hoped that Square Enix would have talked about another title, Versus 13, shed some light on that, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. But the beggars can not buy from the choosers. Anyway, let's move right along. A lot of my subscribers out there have been wanting me to do an update video in regards to the Amazing Spider-Man sequel, in addition to doing more anime videos, which I still gotta get on. The reasons why I haven't really done a video on it, the last one I did was in regards to the suit being revealed, which still looks awesome, man, yes. The reason as to why I haven't been doing videos is simply due to the fact that all the stuff that we're seeing for the most part is expected. All of the production photos, all of the casting choices revealed, in addition to Marc Webb and his damn cryptic tweets. I swear to God, one of these days I gotta sit down and have coffee with this man. I just want to poke his brain and see what he's got next, because if he's doing what I think he's doing, okay, we're not gonna get into this right now, because if I get into this right now, we're gonna be here all night. I mean, because here's Apartment 2016. Gwen Stacy lives in Apartment 2016. In 2016, if they're going by the 2-year time span of these movies, Gwen Stacy will die in the third Spider-Man movie. Okay, see, that is exactly what I was talking about. No, I'm not going to sit here today and talk to you guys about what I think about the casting choices or some of the production photos. That's not why I'm here. If you want to hear my raw thoughts about them, I recommend you follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, somewhere on screen, and also down in the description for your leisure. Today, I've wanted to talk about something that I've been noticing more and more frequently as of late. This has been going on, and Path of Geofreed is my witness. This has been going on since the production of the first film started. I am honestly convinced that there are a group of people out there who are trying to sink this film franchise no matter what they have to do. And no matter what avenue, no matter what they have to fabricate, they are trying to make sure people have a negative opinion about this film series. Without a shadow of a doubt. It doesn't matter if they have to fabricate lies about what Sony executives say about the movie, saying they, quote, hated it, about Marc Webb pulling a George Lucas and removing footage from the movie. Yeah, there were people out there who said that Peter Parker stole the Webb shooters from Oscorp, yet when you come back and count them saying, hey man, don't you see right there, he orders them online and delivers to his house and he unwraps them himself? They say that Marc Webb removed the scene of Peter swiping the web fluid from Oscorp when it came to home media release, DVD and Blu-ray. Yes, I'm not even joking here. There are definitely a group of people out there who are trying to sink this series. And I don't know why. Well, actually, I can attribute it to butthurtness, but, you know, that's not what we're going to do today. Today I want to talk about some of the outrageous claims people have been giving for the movie, and this is one of my most favorite ones. As you guys know, they've been casting a lot of characters for the movie. They just revealed that Chris Cooper will be playing Norman Osborn. Paul Giamatti has some role. Most people think it is linked to Alexei something. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. It's in Russian. Sorry, but I'll just call him Alex for the duration of the video. And people are under the guise, from Marc Webb's tweets, the pictures that he's been revealing, that Electro, Green Goblin, Rhino, and the Sinister Six, including Venom, they're all going to be villains in this movie. Okay, let's break that down a bit. Let's bring it down to scale. All right. Guys, what evidence is there whatsoever that any of these characters, any of these villains are going to be appearing in the movie? What? Show me. Because last time I checked, Chris Cooper was not cast as the Green Goblin. Chris Cooper was cast as Norman Osborn. And yes, I know, the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, does become him. But is he going to become in this movie? No. Is Paul Giamatti going to be the Rhino in this movie? No. What is there to indicate that? Would it be cool at the end of the movie in an after-credit scene to see the Green Goblin? Yes, that'd be freaking awesome, but that is besides the point. There's nothing to indicate. There's no validity to that claim. You want to know why? Because if any of these villains were going to be in the movie, if they were going to play such a big role, even if they weren't a big role, if they were going to play a side role, wouldn't you expect Sony to say something about that if it's going to be a big thing? This isn't something small and minor like, oh, Nick Fury is setting up the Avengers for the first Iron Man movie. No, it's not that at all. one of two things would have happened. Number one, we would have heard more about this during the production of the movie, when they first started it, around the time that Jamie Foxx was cast as Electro. And around the time that Jamie Foxx was cast as Electro was the time where we heard that Shailene Woodley and Dane DeHaan were going to be in the movie. Around that time. No, we didn't hear about that. Number two, and possibly the most logical source, it would have showed up in the film synopsis. In the film synopsis that Sony released, something that almost every single website would be linking to, in the synopsis, it would have said that Spider-Man goes up against these villains. But who does it say he goes up against? Villain 1. Jamie Foxx as Max Dillon, who becomes the villainous Electro. That's all it says. If it were going to be something big and serious, especially something marketable, they would have said something about it. And while we're on the point of Electro, you know, it's kind of funny. I see so many people out there. I've noticed this ever since I was a kid. Everyone's saying that Electro is so awesome. He's a badass villain. I can't wait for them to use him in a movie. And even though they didn't use him in a Spider-Man movie by Sam Raimi, they were saying, oh, they better use him in this film series. And then when they listen to you and they give you Electro, you're all bitching and complaining, saying, Electro's a horrible villain. Why'd they go with this? They should have gone with someone else like a Vulture. I remember the same thing happening for the Lizard. Everybody was saying that, oh man, Sam Raimi better use the Lizard. The Lizard is awesome. And then there was that small little hint that maybe the guy who played Kirk Connors in Raimi's trilogy could become the Lizard. Small little hint. People were saying, yeah, he should be that for Spider-Man 4 or 5. And then when they reboot the series and give you the Lizard, oh, fuck the Lizard. He was never a good villain before you actually saw him in the movie. Interesting. All that we know are these actors are going to be playing the human persona of these characters. That's it. There's nothing to confirm that. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all we're going to see in the movie. We'll have to see what the future holds. And I want to speak briefly on the topic of the symbiote, because this is the one thing, more than what we've seen with the other villains showing up in the movies, this is the one thing that I think people are running the gun with too much, saying that Venom is going to be in the movie, all because of this photo. This photo right here, this is a photo of what appears to be a locker. Be it a locker or be it a morgue, that's another one of the popular things that I've been seeing. We're going to go into the guise that it is a locker. Now, a lot of people think that since it came from Ultimate Spider-Man, the symbiote was in a locker, that we're going to see the symbiote in this movie. Okay, fact check for a second, fact check. In Ultimate Spider-Man, that locker was not held in Oscorp, that locker was Empire State University. And on the locker, it didn't have a number 14, it had the word Brock, for Eddie Brock. Here, the locker is in Oscorp and it has a number 14 on it. What could that mean? Well, certainly it clues out the symbiote right there. But who showed up in Amazing Spider-Man number 14? Yeah, methinks there's some validity to this over this. Come on, people. Seriously, if you are going to cite something as fact, at least know your source. I mean, for crying out loud, Ultimate Spider-Man isn't even that old, so don't use the excuse that, oh, the comics were so old, I'm sorry, we didn't know. No. No. If you're going to pass something off as fact, back it up. And for those who are saying that, oh, they're not going to be able to do the symbiote right because they screwed it up the last time, who screwed it up last time? Sony? Oh, you think it was Sony who screwed up the symbiote in Venom, right? Really? Well, as far as I'm concerned, that popular myth that Sony screwed up Spider-Man 3, no. No. People are saying that Sony wanted Venom. No, Sony wanted the symbiote. That's all they wanted. The scene in Spider-Man 3 where Peter and MJ were in the forest or whatever, and the symbiote crashes down and attaches itself into Peter's bike, that's all they ever wanted. They wanted to tease the symbiote for a Venom movie, which would have been Spider-Man 4 or 5. But no, Sam Raimi confessed to himself that he doesn't like using Venom. He doesn't like him because there's no humanity, apparently. And he's shoved in Venom for the last 15 minutes to make Sony happy. And yeah, you guys saw what happened. But it's funny how a lot of you people want to put the blame on Sony in this situation when Sony was in charge of the series that many of you clamor as the best Spider-Man cartoon out there, The Spectacular Spider-Man. And the reasonings as to why it didn't continue it, yeah, these people right here. These people. Oh, what else are these people producing? Yeah, they're producing that. When these guys gave you that. Yeah. And then there's this photo right here of the Ravencroft Institute. And already people are claiming that it's going to be Venom and it's going to be Carnage. Like, seriously, can we take a breath of fresh air? Can we walk away from the symbiotes for just a little bit? Please? Just a little bit? Can this franchise at least grow before we tackle this sort of stuff? And all of the complaints that people are having in regards to Marc Webb teasing all of this stuff, where were you people back in 2011 when he said this? That he was not creating a Spider-Man movie, he was creating a Spider-Man universe. Marc Webb has stated this at least 2 times. Twice. While it was great to create a Spider-Man movie, it's even better to create a Spider-Man universe, where in the future, even if he wasn't going to be directing it, someone else can take the mantle and expand upon the things that he established. You see, there's a difference between him introducing a major villain and him not doing the next movie and a director potentially fucking him up. No, that is not what Marc Webb is doing. Marc Webb is establishing the groundwork for things. He's introducing a lot of little stuff to grow this universe. Why? Because he wants the universe to be able to stand on its own 2 feet for the future. He's giving them strong legs. A little bit like what Marvel is doing with their cinematic universe. You see them introduce characters, you see them say things that honestly you would have never expected if you weren't noticing them, if you weren't looking for them. And while they don't play a big part, these characters, in a sequel or an eventual tie-in like the Avengers, you see them used. Take, for example, Hawkeye. Hawkeye was a character who had, like, what, maybe 15 seconds of screen time in Thor? And yet, in the Avengers, he was one of the main leads. So how is that any different from what Marc Webb is doing with his universe? Oh, that's right. You see, because it's Marc Webb. It's Marc Webb and it's Sony. Yeah, that's the reasoning as to why. Because they're gonna screw it up, yet Marvel, it's okay. Okay. That's cute. And to close this argument altogether, since when is establishing plot points really a bad thing? Would you guys rather Marc Webb half-ass something and shove it into a 3rd movie? Like, for example, he makes a primary antagonist kill an important character for our main protagonist just cuz. Oh wait, Sandman killing Uncle Ben. That sure made sense. The gun just went off. Do we really want that again? I want to talk about a particular group of people that are, honestly, they're an offshoot of these guys who are trying to sink the movie saying they're introducing so many different things. I want to talk about the people out there. Now, these are the real scumbags of the internet. These are the real people who, honestly, if you ever wanted to give a premier example of childish behavior, these are the guys right here. And it's in regards to Shailene Woodley playing Mary Jane Watson. Now, they announced that Shailene Woodley would be portraying Mary Jane a while back, a couple months ago. And they recently started filming in New York back in February. Seeing as how New York is a very populated place, a lot of people were camping out for film, and we got to see a lot of paparazzi photos. One of which was a photo of Shailene Woodley, not on the set for The Amazing Spider-Man filming-wise, just a photo of her out and about. And these people use this photo of Shailene Woodley as your first official look at Mary Jane Watson. Not any official photos from Sony themselves, no. Paparazzi camera photos, really bad quality, of Shailene Woodley out in 25-degree weather with no makeup on whatsoever. Oh, and there were a bunch of photos, but they made sure to use the worst possible ones. And even when the official photos came out, nope, you didn't see them start using them. And within minutes, people started putting up petitions. People started tweeting to Shailene Woodley, to Marc Webb, saying that Shailene Woodley is the ugliest creature I've ever seen, that she looks like a foot, that Channing Tatum looks better. And no, while this may seem funny to some people, this is not. This seriously isn't. And, you know, it would just be funny if it was just that, but it's not. It's one thing to make a comment about the way an actor looks, but it's another thing to start up petitions and create articles saying, oh, this is how she could look better for Mary Jane. All based on a paparazzi photo. And it'd be funny if it just stopped there, but no. The lulz continued. You see, when these people who wrote these articles and linked to these photos as such, when they got called out by the tons of people for their vile, for their sexist, and for their childlike mentality, they simply said it was all a joke, that they were just kidding, it was nothing serious, you guys need to take a break. Even when they continued doing said things. I don't see how bullying a girl for her physical appearance, especially based off of a fan photo, is somehow helping this movie at all. I really don't. This is the type of behavior that you see from people with a childlike mentality. Now, I'm not going to say you see this stuff from children, because I know children who are far more mature than these douchebags. For you to spend all of this time judging this girl, not on her acting prowess whatsoever, based off of her looks from a fan cam photo, instead of her actual acting abilities, instead of waiting for the film, no. These people want to go and make petitions to have Sony recast this character already halfway into production. They want to reshoot the entire character simply so when they walk into the movie theaters, they'll be able to masturbate to her. I honestly don't know what to say, except, yeah, that's why they have porn sites, gentlemen. That's why.